I'm a dog. Let's get really down to it, you know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's say, I'll put it this way, Brian. If we agree to this, me and the dogs here, we could really do some real damage. You see what I'm saying? Within a few days, I can have pretty much every asset lined up for you.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not just saying that to say it.
I believe it.
Now, that last meeting we had, a bit of a concern about, being able to fight the faceless. You gotta understand that if we agree to you doing this and we go all out, we're putting a huge target on our back. And we've been through this before, you know what I mean? So we know what it goes like. I mean, I'm sure you seen what happened to Lil Saul a while back, right?
I remember.
What I'm asking you here is if we go all out and the target's on our back, what is the backup? Is there gonna be APCs in our block? Is there gonna be sniper rifles? Are you guys gonna be there to defend it?
Yes. Well, okay. We're going to be there to defend it. Things like APCs and snipers is something that the U.S. military authorizes the day of or the day prior. Let me give you some perspective. We have snipers in our armory, right? I get special approval to even take that out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to sign in on duty.
Surely.
I don't want to give you the perspective that, hey, I can do this, that, and the third. These are things that I can make requests for, and then, my contacts in the state make those final decisions.
Well, I'd assume that, if we're working hand in hand and we're doing a lot of the stuff, and if we need assistance, I'm sure it would come, right? It more than likely come than not, I assume.
It did on Friday. On Friday, we had, I think, a Harrier jet coming in, making sure faceless assets were getting shot from the, from the skies, as well as a, 50 caliber
Jeeps, answer.
Which were significantly better than the air support. Those 50 caliber vehicles, I myself took down about 20 planes. The APCs are dog shit. Let me just be straight with you. They may look powerful. However, the APCs that we use, they're really only good on a case-by-case basis, whereas the 50 cals do not have like cooling limits, and the 50 caliber projectiles go so far into the distance, you can take out an air asset from, as far as the eye can see. Whereas a APC, those surface to air missiles, if they make impact, they're more like flak cannons. So if you do not get the target at the point the missile blows up by itself, you're not going to really do any damage.
Okay. And when it comes to being supplied, you gotta understand that when we do this, we're not getting supplied, right? So we're relying on you guys to supply us. Now this isn't no like, well, I can only give you this much, I can only give you that much. There's I assume there's enough to go around, right?
The last group, we gave them 500 rounds plus PD heavies, along with armor, IFAKs, et cetera, et cetera. And then I believe 2 times during that whole situation, we dropped off a couple thousand rounds.
Okay.
So there's not going to be like a request and you're like, nah, we've already given you guys too much.
No. If you guys start running out of ammo, we're going to get you more ammo.
Okay.
We kind of, like I said, we estimated for 500, and obviously 500 wasn't enough, so we did a couple thousand drops. During
Not,
the
like
whole
when you say
ordeal.
500, that was for like your specific like the
was
task
per
that they were
person.
doing, right? Right, but that was for like the task they were doing.
That is correct.
Okay.
Everything's going to be like, like let's say we go to the extreme of like, let's say we're invading Faceless Island. If we were to figure out where it was, you would likely be given a vehicle loaded with ammo.
I think
It is in our benefit to make sure you have everything you need rather than the other one.
I think the more important thing is more when Ford said like proactively, doing
Ocean
things,
King.
it wouldn't really necessarily be like a specific task, you know what I mean? Like in a couple of days we could probably snatch up a couple of the assets.
Mhm.
So you're not stupid, you know what's gonna come after that.
I totally understand, and that's why I am looking to see if I can get intel on Ligara. Look, I have to answer to the DOJ and the state, right? So it'd be a very bad look if they knew that I was looking the other way while you guys are clapping folks in a way that is not fully monitored. You get my meaning?
Well,
I don't. It wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be. It would
That's
be
not
more
what-
of
that's
they're
not what we're
getting
trying to
snatched
say.
up.
Oh,
Yeah, we're trying to say we tactically do it and get to
Yeah,
you guys.
it would be,
But
they'll be
the- okay.
delivered.
At some point, it's going to get back that it was us that did it, and some people might feel slighted. And we don't want to be up shit's creek with no being cut off from everything. and
That's
then
what we're
not being able
saying,
to get
yeah.
shit from you guys.
what I'm going to do over the next 24 hours is see if I can see if there's any Ligara movement. Have you ever dealt with them before?
I have.
And I'm sure you're aware that they tend to be pretty well equipped, and the things that they move might be exactly what you need for the things on the side. Last I understood, they're still moving M70s around.
Fuck, you better hope they're not. Otherwise, we already lost this war.
No. Ligara moves M70s.
Yeah, you don't want
And if
them.
the wrong crew, I don't know, happens to get there first.
Fuck, I'd pay someone to go take them. Brian, them things are dog shit.
Oh, they're not good.
They're fucking awful.
Oh. Wait, so what's the okay, listen. What's good on the street right now?
The Groza and the heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Well, M70s or those on the missions, those can certainly be done. The Groza, are those still on the street right now?
No. Well, yes, but
You
no.
have one, but
Yeah,
are
yes,
they
but
moving?
no. Yeah, no.
Because I'm sort of suspecting a lot of the faceless weapons manufacturing may have halted. And everything that we've seen is that these assets seem to be getting
don't think so.
packages before the shit that they do.
It's not halted, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It hasn't halted.
Maybe it's slowed down, but I don't think it's come to a halt.
Could still go get stuff.
I'll tell you this, before I let's say I do agree to this, before I do any backstabbing,
What's going on, guys?
I will be buying up as much shit as I can. You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense. How much would you need in order to get a plentiful amount of Grozas?
Money's not the issue here, Brian.
For evidence,
Listen, the
of
only
course.
thing I need from you is I need assurance that once we do what we do, and once we go snatch these assets up, that you will be there with whatever we need to defend against attack helicopters and God knows what the fuck else.
100%.
That's what this is the real question here.
That's gonna happen. Look, I don't want to speak on both sides of my mouth here. I think that we are all fucked.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And we are fighting a very uphill battle. And for the very reason I am going to folks that do not fuck with the faceless is because it's either them or us. And I'd rather try dying than just sit back and watch the city burn. Because at least when things settle, I can say at least I tried.
I do have one question, which is, I guess, pretty important to me. I have zero trust in. Listen, Brian, you know, I think you're full of shit, and I also think the DOJ are brain dead, and I also think the justice system's terrible. What's not to say that we don't go capture these people, right? Bring them to you, and in 2 days later, they're walking the streets. At that point, we're kind of like, our job's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Is there like a measure put in place to make sure that what we're doing isn't pointless?
So that's firstly, I don't disagree with half of what you said. I think the justice system is fucked. I think the prison is fucked. People have been broken out in a matter of 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're talking about faceless assets. However, that's why the damage needs to be done from completely different angles.
Okay, how about this?
It's not about just capturing them. It's about kneecapping them so they can't get back up.
Let me give you a proposition. How about we kidnap these people, add them to you. You have us DOC in the prison. We make sure they stay in that motherfucker.
I would be shocked if the state approved that.
Yeah, that could be the new blog.
That could be our new blog.
We make sure the prisoners stay in prison, Brian.
In a perfect world, that would be, if I was a senator, I'd say fuck yes. But we have
just look at the amount of prison breaks that happen. Motherfuckers are in there for 15, like you said yourself, 15 minutes, right? Obviously, whoever's doing their job ain't doing it right.
Can I be real with you though?
Yeah.
I don't even, if faceless want to pull out someone out of prison, there ain't no stopping it. You know why? Because DOC is standing there for fucking 12 hours, and then before you know it, gunship comes down while there's like 2 members of DOC around at like fucking 7 p.m. and turn around and all of a sudden they're gone. I don't think you'd want that either.
But like, there's obviously like a raised, like security for these people, right? They're not just gonna get thrown into fucking gen pop.
There is. I mean, we can put them in. Listen, prison is fucking completely.
I guess that's the wrong question, because it doesn't really matter what happens after. But I'm just saying that they're gonna get, like, us taking them off the street is actually going to be beneficial,
do something.
Right?
It does, because I can tell you right now, anytime we disrupt the faceless, we were chasing Brandon, and Charlie called me to kill Brandon on his behalf because they were missing a meeting. That may not seem like anything at face value, but it is. Those disruptions go a long fucking way. When Charlie is calling me himself pissed and wants his own asset murked, out of that much rage, he's calling the director of the marshals. Imagine how much damage that did. It slows them down.
Yeah.
Every slowdown is that much more time to figure out a better solution.
Now, Brian, I do have to ask you another question. I think we're very good at, what we do as criminals. And on a daily basis, I think we get chased by a lot of cops.
Mm-hmm.
It's also fair to say that, the PD cars are pretty fast. Is there any of them numbers going around?
These are things that I can't imagine the state would approve PD equipment being. You mean like for the mission?
That's this guy asking, bro. This guy's an
Yeah. Because I don't want to pull up in an assault and get shot at.
I don't think that. I mean,
I was just curious.
I got another question for you, my dog. Let's say, okay, put it this way: we kidnap these people, you arrest them, they get broken out. How would you feel about checkpoints being set up by us around highways, different places? So anyone's traveling through, we make sure they're not a faceless asset, right? That broke out of prison.
Huh. Let me talk to the DOJ tomorrow. I feel like citizen-run checkpoints is kind of reasonable.
Well, we wouldn't technically be citizens, right? Because we'd
be working on your behalf, right?
On the
be working
missions,
with you guys.
On the missions, you won't. On the missions, you'll be deputized.
Right, but you know, this goes beyond the missions, Brian. Once we do this, the target's there forever. This is not like for the missions with deputy. We're in it for good. We're neck deep in it. You see what I'm saying?
I don't think you want to be that neck deep in it.
Oh,
choice.
but we have no choice.
Well, let me give an example why, right? At some point, tell me I'm wrong. Y'all gonna want to probably do some shit. And being deputized when you're doing that shit gonna very much complicate things. As quickly as I've been given permission to arm y'all for faceless things, that permission can very swiftly be taken if there's too much liability created.
You're talking about like bank trucks and stuff, right?
I know what you're saying.
Bank trucks, whatever it might be. So I think these extra things that we're discussing, we have to find a way for them to make sense and for me to be able to sell the idea.
I see what you're
So
saying.
I could sell the idea over civilian checkpoints by concerned citizen, which, you know, we can see how that goes. But if it's
Okay.
very quickly,
Hypothetically,
we have fucking ops in the PD too.
hypothetically, right?
Mm-hmm.
If let's just say if all types of criminal activities were, let's say they came to a halt, how far could you go?
You keep working with us, I'm going to keep asking for more.
Who's like top of your list right now? Let's say like the asset wise.
Brandon Valentino, Andre Tyson, the 3 POS individuals that are up on the docket. For the others, we need more evidence. And some of these
Wow.
guys like to run around with faceless books. You know what else I'm going to throw out there is you mentioned Grozas.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way you can take it?
Take what?
From what I understand, no.
Mm.
I don't think I understand what you're asking. I'll be honest.
Well, if you knew where the Groza blueprint was.
All right, yeah, I get you.
I mean, we could maybe find like the other ones.
Yeah, Groza one's probably close to
Maybe like ammo
hard.
mags is probably the easier
Ammo's
ones
probably
to
the
go
big one,
for.
yeah.
But
Yeah, we could listen. Maybe a different one, maybe.
Are the Grozas, now that I'm thinking about it, are the Grozas not coming from Ligara? They
No.
might be.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna. The girls that came from somebody else that it's not already being supplied. So these ones right here are pretty much, you know, on their last legs, rusting away.
Do you think there's fresh Grozas out there?
I don't believe so. But I mean, I'm pretty much. You understand? I'm not in the loop as much as I used to be, right? Still am, but it could be.
Slow and steady is going to be the important bit here, right? For a large part, I am using each successful mission as a way to ask more for the guerrilla group. But even I need to answer to someone. And if there is a pattern of assistance shown, it makes it that much easier for me to slam on the desk and say, why not?
Okay. You guys think here?
You want to talk a second?
Give us 1 second, Brian.
What's the recap? Do you have a target right now?
You guys think?
so we going down the same path again.
That's what it is, yeah.
About to put in a big order and try to follow somebody to find their blueprint.
Honestly, not a terrible idea at this point. Like, it's seriously it's not a bad
do you
idea.
think Brian Knight would open the door for us?
In what sense?
You think you'd raid a house and just
Yep.
take the blueprint and give it to you?
Probably. I genuinely probably do think so.
What's
yeah.
up?
At this point, if we do it smart,
I
like,
don't think we have any.
act like fuck, this is cringe to say.
I don't even think we have any.
We actually act like a
I
Fed,
got no
like
clue.
following someone. I
don't
reckon
even
he would do
know
it.
if anyone's got any anymore.
He's not gonna just kick down a random door, but he might. If we actually like try and do it properly, he might actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Leave the door open for what?
He's talking about like when he open the door, like go raid it.
Okay, okay. I'll ask him these questions, but are we willing to work with him or no?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the decision's already made. I think you just say yes, bro. Like, let's stop going in circles.
Okay, but the real question is look, if he's willing to really push it for us, and we can go out there, we can set up checkpoints, we can go out there and we can do whatever we'd want to do. I'm willing to just fully go with it. In terms of like,
100%.
I get what he's saying. It's gonna be hard for him to convince the DOJ. Like, look, these guys that do bank tricks every day are also gonna help us. Like, make like, there's no convincing. You get what I'm saying?
We have to just show it. Like, we genuinely have to just show it. Honestly, like, we have to show that we're not gonna go out and shoot cops every day. Otherwise, they're not gonna be willing to work with us.
That's
the path we're choosing. Like, that is genuinely the path we're choosing. Like, it is. And I'm okay. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying, like, if we're in this, we're in it type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's the thing with the we're just gonna. It's like
the mayor thing
yeah,
as
this
well.
affects a lot.
You just have to ask about it, bro.
I'm not just telling him. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just do it.
My dog. Just a few more things, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Let's say we were to let's say we were to figure out, right? We got some ways to figure things out, you know. Let's say we were to figure out where a blueprint is. Would you be willing to raid that place?
We would be raiding it right now.
Okay,
And what would happen with the blueprint?
Raid.
Hold on. Can I ask a question before that, though?
Okay.
I think this has happened in the past, Brian. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there something you need more than our word? Because that's
not really.
what
I mean,
you're
it's going to
get.
be based on what I see. There's going to be, look, I'm asking for a bit of trust and vice versa against a common enemy.
Yeah.
I understand that things are going to happen, right? And the only thing I'm really going to ask is be cognizant of what you are doing, because I have to defend y'all's actions to my superior.
Right. So you're pretty much saying that we went and lied to you, and you wouldn't kick the door in and find shit that isn't what is related to you. You'd be fucked.
Oh yeah, I mean it is what it is, right? I mean people figure out shit. I mean it's not. I think we can all agree that
but it's in our best
Skynote
interest if we're
very
going down
good
this
at
path to
targeting
be
folks.
Smart. Right. That's what you're trying to say.
If let's say you told me right now that there was a building that housed a blueprint, we would find a way to kick the doors in. Beauty of martial law is it's a lot easier. We go in there, it's not found, it is what it is. On to the next target. I'm not going to look at it like, yo, we kick the doors in just for shits and gigs.
I have a question here. Let's say you did kick in the door and you did find something that we were looking for. What happens? Would that be utilized to help the cause, or would that just be put in evidence and forgot about?
That's one of the things on my list here. So I'm going to answer that in two parts, right? If it is a gun that will be active for the guerrillas, I would perhaps find a way to make sure that the guerrillas are properly funded. Because maybe something falls off the back of the truck. Or maybe a copy. Look, can I just be fucking real with you guys? Like, there's no fucking cameras. You ain't got someone sitting in here, do you?
No, we don't.
No.
I don't give a fuck if you strap a bomb to Brandon Valentino, all right? I just don't want you saying that to me while there's other people around. Am I really gonna be worrying about like law and fucking order when we literally have a terror organization that's trying to kill us all? No, of course not.
And now, Brian, I actually do have a good question on that. Obviously, you know that the local PD are have the IQ of a toddler. Let's say, for instance, we got, like you said, let's say we went and blew somebody up, right? Local PD catch us. They go to push charges. I assume that would be
You're
taken care
probably
of.
going to see it how it normally is.
Right. What
for
I'm
the
saying is,
worst.
but we wouldn't
But
actually
if I
really have to
come
worry about it.
through, I will do my best to limit it or get y'all released. And I've
Okay.
had to do that with folks already.
I get that. Yeah, I know you can
And-
straight up dismiss it, but
It makes it easier the sooner that you start producing things. And that's why I'm saying, like, move slow to begin so
Yeah.
that you've got some like things I can point at and be like, yo, we need to release them. They're fucking helping us with it.
right.
But if like day one, you're like, we end this conversation and Brandon's got a bomb on him, like, an
I mean,
hour
bombing
later,
is pointless.
like
but
we
yeah,
haven't even
I know what you-
started yet. I haven't even
Yeah.
gotten the approval yet.
I'll put
Gotcha.
it this way: we wouldn't bomb, and like we wouldn't like, how do I say this? If we were to go after these assets, we would hand them in. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't like.
Yes,
It's not the point to go and gun them down.
I agree.
But with
Easiest
that
ones to do
being
is-
said,
Mm.
you know how shit goes sometimes, right? And sometimes, well, it happens.
100%. You wouldn't be the first crew that's gunned down faceless. I'll put it that way. And those people walk.
Hello?
Now here's one thing, Brian. I'm sure you're not stupid. There's a lot of people in power in the city.
Yeah, let me get out of this meeting and then we can.
Especially at the courthouse.
Right.
What if I told you that one of them's a faceless asset?
Who? Firstly, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be the first time.
You're not playing dumb, right?
I'm not playing dumb.
Yeah, like you're not actually like.
I genuinely have no idea who you're going to reference. I'm thinking about it right
I
now.
want to put it this way, because this is somebody that we would like to personally go after, right? And that kind of contradicts this whole arrangement.
That is going to be difficult, and I'm going to tell you why, right? Even though I personally might approve it, you have to think about the optics of it, right?
That's what I'm saying. I understand how it looks.
The optics look bad because unless there's full justification from like charges perspective, it looks like you're going after a government person with no proof.
So what you're saying is,
Okay, how about this? What if there was proof before they went after
We
them?
need charges. Otherwise, it's going to look awful. Are you talking about Cassandra?
Perhaps.
Who's Cassandra?
The mayor.
fucking brain fog.
So Cassandra is friends with JJ. I've been actively letting her know of JJ's activities to get him to flip, which I don't think he will. JJ has historically thrown his own gang under the bus to suck on that blue dick. And I think he called me 3 days ago thinking about doing just that. I'm aware that JJ either sells magazines or ammo. In fact, we've caught him in the process of doing it, but we couldn't get eyes on the product itself. He would sell it right next to the Kintsugi at that park.
What?
Did you hear that?
What was that? Yeah,
fuck
what the
was
fuck was
that?
that?
Hey, are you good outside? We just heard like a fucking vehicle like right above us.
Right, so I actually have a concept to that. Imagine, we went to pick up something from some person you pulled over both vehicles and found the stuff. Would that not strengthen your case on that?
Yes.
No, it'd be a real
Mm.
shame if we went to prison, right, for something related to it. To make it look less.
I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying.
I could be completely misreading Cassandra. I've been pretty direct with her. There's no reason to hide who's doing what anymore, right? Even from an investigative perspective, because the fucking world is ending. But unless I'm doing a really shit job misreading it, I believe she's trying to get JJ to get out.
I mean, perhaps I don't know about that stuff, but I do know that well, those two people are in the same gang, right? And one of them is a
That is
faceless
true.
asset, which makes the whole gang. I'll tell you how this works. At the end of the day, if one person, especially the leader of a gang, is a faceless asset, the whole gang
I
is a faceless
agree.
asset.
That's exactly the spiel I gave to Cassandra and JJ.
Because there is no such thing as they're not. Because let's say a blue man wants something done. JJ gets told to get something done. He's gonna get his gang to help him. It's as simple as.
But if JJ's life gets threatened and they need the mayor for something, she's not gonna let something happen to JJ.
What if JJ were to give you something that he has?
Well, what's he got?
You mean the blueprint?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, Brian. You're barking up the wrong tree. He is the biggest sword.
Pussy?
Yeah. And
No, I
he
know.
loves he's finally, in my opinion, he's finally where he wants to be. And he ain't giving that up for nobody.
But when you
Do
say
what you need
okay,
to do,
but when you're saying
but let me
give, I'm just
cook
trying
on
to.
this.
Yeah, you're saying like give it to us, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because the thing is, does he really want his entire crew targeted? And I'm telling you right now that I believe he's had second thought. There's been a lot of pressure put behind him. Let's hold off on any more than that, but let me see what I can do. I don't want to slow you guys down with that direction, so do what you need, but I'm gonna float that. The worst thing that would happen is all his friends start getting raided.
Hmm.
And I don't think they want that heat.
Okay.
So just to wrap it up with the person that we said that we wanted to go after, that would be an issue.
I don't think you want to, because look at it from my perspective. The besties are helping us, and now they're clapping up the mayor, who there is zero
I don't think the
evidence.
intention would be to. I don't think the intention would be to necessarily clap up the mayor. It would have to be something smarter along the lines of, getting either a resignation or a what's that word when someone
Impeached.
impeached.
Do you
No.
really believe she's like?
Yeah.
Do you have hard evidence on this?
No, but I truly believe it.
Because the reason I say that is she's being targeted by the faceless after her message.
I mean, of course she is. Otherwise, it would be suspicious, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking you, Ben. How do you know that's not just
She's been
a ruse?
actually targeted.
When you say she's been targeted,
I'm
though, what's
pretty
actually
good at
happened to her?
reading folks, right? I'm a fucking sociopath. It's literally my job is hearing people's tonations and the statements that they made, etc., etc. If she has been lying the past 2-3 weeks, do I believe she is aware that JJ works with the faceless? Yes. Do I believe that she wants him to? No. And I believe that of the conversations I've had with her over the past like 2+ weeks, that the hints I've given her without saying it directly is enough for me to believe that she wants it distanced. Now, that doesn't mean I could get it wrong. I would just be very surprised. However, if there is evidence of this that you guys are aware of and you need to act on it, I'm not going to slow you guys down. But just understand that, like, you know, when you go after like a government entity and there isn't like a lot of very obvious evidence, it becomes a hard
I'll put
sell
it
to
this
the
way.
rest of the
I
government.
understand that it will be okay. It would be a terrible look if we let's say, you know, we agree to working together, and the first course of action is just us going after the mayor. That's a
That's exactly what I'm saying.
but we get it. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. It's
Yeah, we're not
working.
trying to
It's
jump
working
head first
backwards,
in.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we sit on for a little while and we think of a smarter way to approach it than.
And
You
I'm
know.
going to start trying to encourage a transfer. Would that be useful
Encourage a transfer.
of the blueprint?
I mean, it'd be
Try.
useful. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, without sounding like an asshole, but the least stuff that we have to rely on from the state, the better, right? In that sense, in terms of equipment.
I wholeheartedly agree. If something just looks like a street dispute, very few people are going to question it.
Exactly.
All right. I'll put it this way. I think the answer is yes, more than likely. The real question is going to be how deep we take it, right? Because you mentioned you know, if you work with us and we are here still doing the stuff we normally do, it's harder to be convincing to people when it comes to stuff like checkpoints and all these other things that we might want to do. The real question is how deep we want to go with it. And we'll see if crime comes to a halt in our end. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think slow roll it. The more accolades you get, the easier it is for me to say, hey, we need these guys doing checkpoints, this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, can we get someone on ATC? Run the tail number. What is the tail number? It's fast. Gotcha.
Hey, listen. Tomorrow I'll have a definite answer for you, though. Okay.
Hey, firm.
I think
Okay.
we got everything we need. Like every question pretty much been answered. Unless you guys got anything else.
No.
The biggest thing here is here, like I said, slow roll, get the accolade, and then the door starts opening way wider.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too hard to gain trust, especially if, you know, if we decide to hold things on our end in terms of crime.
All right, my dog. We'll have
I
an answer for you
appreciate it.
tomorrow. All right.
Sounds good.